Good morning, grade 10. Hopefully you guys have had a fantastic week and everything's going great with everybody. Can you guys give me just a green check mark so I know that you're good to go in Blackboard, please? And we will get started. Just as you guys do that for me, just to give you guys an idea of where we're heading today. We've kind of got a mismatch of everything. Because Miss Wood's been away for the last couple of days, she keeps coming into my office and saying, remind the kids, remind the kids, remind the kids. So I've got a lot of reminders for you guys as well today from Miss Wood. So looks like we're good to go. Great, fantastic. I've been having a great week as well. Abby, thanks for asking. All right. So you guys can see my title slide here for the narrative paragraph. This is, we will get to this, but there are a few little things that we need to accomplish this morning before we get into the meat of what we're going to do for English today. So here's our agenda, okay? Still a couple of you have submitted your EKGs, but you haven't submitted them in the right file format, okay? And right now your mark still sits at 0. And I really want to address that because that's not fair to those of you that have actually, I know you've put in the work because I can see there's a file there, but I can't open it. So I quickly want to go over how to convert that file. And then if you still can't upload it onto your Weeblies, I've got some separate options for you guys. So those of you that have actually done that for me, fantastic. You've got a few minutes to just sit and wait until we get to number 2. We're going to go back to last day's assignment and quickly discuss how to submit that last day's assignment on Point of View. And then I realized too, as I was thinking back, that I didn't even ask you guys how when I asked you guys to do the provincial exam and the writing on the run, how you found that. So I'd like some feedback on that. This is from Miss Wood, the reminder about a field trip. And then we'll get into the narrative paragraph. So the first 4 shouldn't take too long, you guys. So let's start with converting your EKE project. Now, the EKE project, when you are in Movie Maker, if you are still using Movie Maker, okay, in the very top left-hand corner, and I'd love to show you guys this on my computer, but our laptops don't have Movie Maker, so I can't show this to you guys live. That's why I've got screen captures for you guys in my PowerPoint. In the very top-hand left corner, you're going to see, it kind of looks like a little bit of a file folder. If you click on that drop-down menu, then go to Save Movie. And then your next step is choose for computer. Okay? Then you'll see when the Save As dialog box pops up, under the Save As type, you should get a drop-down menu with some different options. Okay? One option is that you can save it as an MP4. Weebly will allow you to upload MP4s. The other option might be a WMV file. Okay. You can also upload that as well. Then when it's saved as that file type, then head to your Weebly, go to your English page and upload your movie. Now, don't just upload it as a file, please. Okay, that doesn't look as nice. I'd like you to actually embed it. Don't make it as a file link. So if it's saved as an MP4 or a WMV file, you should be able to drag and drop that HD video button from Weebly, pull it over, and then upload your video. That way it'll embed it straight onto your English page and it'll look really slick. All right. Now, if none of those options work for you, if you cannot convert your file, if you are having huge issues, you have 2 options. You can either, 1, use the WeVideo option, which is online movie editing free program. Super, super simple. In the assignment, I've actually uploaded a tutorial on how to use WeVideo. Okay. And then you can upload that movie into Weebly, again, using the HD video button. Or if that still doesn't work, you can just use the slideshow feature on Weebly. Upload your images into a slideshow, and you can even still use a music track as well in the background if need be. Then submit your Weebly link. Okay, that's what you need to submit into the assignment. So those of you that were having issues, those are the steps that need to be taken. Once you're done that, you need to message me so that I can get those marks changed for you guys. All right? Because I think there's still about 4 of you guys who haven't converted your files. So make sure that happens. Okay? Next. This is for everybody. Your point of view assignment that you completed for me last day. So you guys did either a Poplet or a Padlet, right? On a scenario. Awesome. Thanks, Shayna. So make sure that you, here are the steps that you need to follow. You need to go back into that assignment, scroll down, and you will see that I put a download button in the assignment underneath the assessment section. Make sure you download that rubric and you're going to self-assess. Now, you can either do this a couple of ways because I know some of you have issues with Word documents and such. You can either use the rubric to highlight and upload to the assignment. So print off the actual rubric, highlight where you think you are, and re-upload it into the assignment for me. Or on a Word doc, or even just in the online text box. Describe where you are in each of the 3 categories. You'll notice when you download the rubric, there's actually 3 sections to it. Just make sure you show me where you are in each of those sections. So not only do you have to hand in that rubric, ladies and gentlemen, you also need to submit the link to your collaborative wall, either Poplet or Padlet. All right. And then I will go in and give you guys a mark as well on that. Okay. Perfect. All right. So Taylor, the rubric is in the assignment, and the rubric is just basically, it's almost like it looks like a grid, and you just figure out which category you think you fall into, whether you're exceeding in expectations or whether you have no idea what you're doing. Okay. So you go in and just read through it. You'll understand once you take a look at it. Absolutely. Yeah, Taylor, absolutely. Even if your group didn't do anything and you did everything, awesome. That's totally fine. That's what I want to see. That's part of our collaboration work in this class, right? So yeah, you still submit that link. You all still submit that rubric. All right. I want to know in the room chat right now, okay, on our agenda, this is number 3, that provincial exam. I only asked you to do that multiple choice section. So it only was that part A where you had to do a couple of different readings and then answer the multiple choice. What did you guys think about that? Did you upload then the answer key, and how did you do? I'll give you guys a few minutes to give me some feedback. Great. That is what I want to hear, Taylor. That you found it easy. Really, when we talk about the multiple choice aspect of it, you guys, it's really just decoding your comprehension. Do you understand the text, and can you pull out the answers from a text? So I'm kind of hoping, Alex, fantastic. Good job. Okay. Yeah, so Chloe, you should be able to, if you can't find, this is just going back, you guys, to the Padlet Poplet. If you can't find the link for your Padlet or your, no, the Poplet you won't, but for the Padlets, if you even just message me what group you were in, number 1 or number 2, I can access that link for you. So Chloe, if you just tell me what group you were in, was it Skateboard Park 1 or Skateboard Park 2, then I can easily find that for you. All right. Good, Shayna. Glad to hear that you found it interesting and easy. Good. Awesome. That is what I love. Yes, Taylor, great question. Yeah. So there is essay section, part of this. So and we will eventually get to that as well. I just didn't want to overwhelm you guys by throwing a whole provincial exam at you the very first time looking at it. Okay. So yes, there is definitely, there's a written portion as well, which is part B, which is a shorter section of written work. And then the last section is usually an essay. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So great, Abby. I'm glad that you found it easier than you thought, which is great. So that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted you guys to get comfortable. Maybe there was some words that you didn't understand, some terminology, and that's fine. Hopefully, as the course goes on, we'll hit those terms as well. Because it might have asked you about some literary devices and you were like, what are those? Right? And that's fine. As the course goes on, we will hit those literary terms. Hopefully, cross my fingers. Yeah. So Alex, great question. You need to upload the rubric and just the link to the Poplet will be fine. Because when I click on it, it'll show up for me. All right? So definitely. Thanks, Alex. Okay, I'm glad. Now, what about writing on the run? Did you guys, was it helpful? Were you confused? Was it an easy resource? Is it something you think that's going to help with your writing as the course continues, that you'll use it throughout the course? Okay. Good. So maybe with this feedback, I love getting this type of feedback from you. Yeah, some of you felt like it was really useful and some of you may not find it useful. So what I may do is keep it, but maybe I'll also find another site that will help you with those same things. Okay. So maybe I'll actually find a couple of different sites that you guys can use as a resource, not just writing on the run. So that's some good feedback from you guys. Thank you. Devin, that doesn't sound very positive. Good. I'm glad that you found the comprehension part of the exam simple, Devin. That's good. Because that is actually a big part of the exam as well. All right. So awesome. Thank you guys for the feedback. That is great. Now, this is from Miss Wood. Reminder that tomorrow we want to see as many of you as possible. All right. Field trip tomorrow. Okay. Friday. We're going on an urban adventure hike. So make sure that you get here by 10:30 a.m. We're meeting here at McWilliams. All right. And it's at 580 Doyle Avenue. This information's all on your main homepage for the courses as well. Right, you guys? So we're going to take a tour of the green screen room. Okay. Where we're actually in right now. We're going to walk around downtown and enjoy some Starbucks. All right. So it's a really laid back, chill, field trip for you guys this week. So we're really encouraging you all to come out. Okay. We like to see you guys as well. All right. It was so great to see you guys at bowling and I got to put some faces to names. Okay. That really, really helps us. It gets to know you guys, right? So that's really important. Then you also get to know the other students in the class. And I think that's great, making those connections as well. All right. Perfect. Thanks, Abby. All right. I know, Taylor, we wish you could too. All right. So that is the field trip. That's the information from Miss Wood. Let's get into it. All right. I feel like I didn't miss a page. All right. Perfect. Thanks, Avery. All right, on to kind of this last little section of our unit. We went from introducing ourselves with our EKG project, getting to know who we are a bit, moving into that descriptive paragraph writing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of add on. We're still going to do a descriptive paragraph for this next part of the unit, but we're going to add on to it as a narrative. We're going to tell a story from a different point of view. All right. So Here is how I'm going to introduce this to you guys. I've put on my PowerPoint a lovely title page of a book that we are going to read. Read/watch. Okay? So what do you think this story is about? Take a look at the image. What do you think this story is about? And in the room chat, make a prediction. What do you think this story is about? Ooh. Well then, Jade, don't make any predictions. Perfect. I think your guys' predictions are bang on. Not only is it a fairy tale, not only is it about the three little pigs, but it's the three little pigs from a different perspective. Awesome. So here's what I'd like you to do. We're going to chunk the story because I also want to make sure that we are using a strategy for reading and comprehending a story. And the strategy that we're going to use is making predictions today. All right. So what I'd like you guys to do, and unfortunately my video still isn't working quite right on the live classroom. So what I'm going to do is I'd like you to watch the story. You need to actually go into the assignment, into the narrative paragraph rough draft. I believe that's what I've titled the assignment. If you go in there, you'll notice a YouTube video. I'd like you to watch the story until about 2 minutes and 30 seconds and then pause it. And then come back to the Blackboard room and make a prediction about what happens next. And type it into the room chat. All right. So those of you that have already heard the story or read the story, okay, let's try to not make it a spoiler. All right. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes on the timer. Go watch the first 2.5 minutes. Come back to the room and make a prediction about what happens next in the story. 3 minutes. Go. Perfect. Just as you guys are finishing watching that and making your predictions in the room chat, that's great. I can see Taylor's already made her first prediction. My predictions can be a great strategy to use. It really deepens your thinking about your comprehension as well, right? But what I don't want is an unfounded prediction. You have to predict based on the story. There has to be some evidence behind your prediction, okay? So for an example, right, you're not going to say, I think the wolf is going to take off in a rocket ship up to space. That's unfounded, okay? You really have to base predictions and make sure that they are evidence-based. We don't want to make unrealistic predictions. Okay? Perfect. Thanks, Alex. Perfect. I just want to make sure that you guys take all your predictions there and read through your classmates' predictions as well. You might find something that you're like, oh, I never thought about that before. That could be true. Good, Ava. Good, Shayna. Good. And then I think too, some of you have actually made connections to other stories, which is another great strategy, right? It helps really connect you to your thinking as well, making connections to your own personal life or to other text. That's really, really important. All right. Excellent. Now there are some really good predictions in that room chat, ladies and gentlemen. Now what I'd like you to do is we're going to use that same thing. We're going to do the same process. But this time I want you to go just about to the ending, just about that 5 minute and 20 mark. Okay. And then same thing. Just pause it right before the ending. Don't watch the whole thing. Okay? Because then what I'd like you to do is come back to the room and make a prediction about the ending of the story. How does the story end? And again, then type it into the room chat. So again, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Same thing. Watch the next little bit about up to that 5:20 mark, you guys. And then into the room chat, tell me what the ending of the story looks like. All right, go ahead. All right, so just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, once you get to that 5:20 mark, come back in and give me a prediction about what the ending is going to look like for this story. And I can see some of you chatting right now, so that's great. So I'll give you a few minutes to finish up your typing there. And then once you finish your prediction for the end of the story, you can actually go back and now finish watching the ending as well. See how right you were. Oh, was it? Oh, that's okay. Oh, obviously I got my times wrong. That's okay, you guys. We still got one prediction in, so that's okay. Flexibility in the classroom. Perfect. All right, so that's all right, you guys. Good, I'm glad. Now, why did I have you watch that story? What was the point of you guys watching that story? Just into the room chat. Why do you think? Awesome. Yes. Good, Jade. Good. So actually you guys brought up more points than I actually thought you would. I was hoping that everyone would just come up with, you know, oh, looking at a story from a different perspective, right? Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, but this one was told differently because it was from the wolf's point of view and not the pig's point of view. So that was the main reason why I got you guys thinking about that, right? And it ties into our last lesson about point of view. So that's great, okay? That's awesome. You guys did get the point of that. Two sides to every story. That's right, Shayna. So here is your actual assignment of what we're going to be doing over the next couple of classes. So now what I'd like you to do is, again, we're going to choose a significant life event. It can be from your EKG. I would prefer for you to actually use the life event that you wrote about in your descriptive paragraph. So you're going to take that same descriptive paragraph, the event that you chose to write about, but you don't have to necessarily. If you don't want to, if you want to try something else, if another life event is a better choice, then go ahead and do that. All right. But ideally, I would like you to have that same life event, just so you guys can see the real difference between how you can change the mood and tone of your writing by just changing the point of view, the perspective of who's telling the story. So then, once you've chosen that event, and hopefully for most of you, it's that same event that you chose in your descriptive paragraph, choose a different point of view to write from, okay? This can be from another character that you wrote about in your descriptive paragraph. So if it was another person, it could even be from a viewpoint of an object. It can be a viewpoint from an animal. Whatever depends on the situation that you guys wrote about in your descriptive paragraphs. That's the big thing. Absolutely, Abby. Absolutely. Maybe it's actually from an outsider point of view, right? That third person who might have been there just overlooking, observing the scenario, for sure. Now, once you've chosen that point of view, the next thing that you guys need to think about is I want you to still keep the paragraph as descriptive as possible, okay? So you still have that descriptive writing feeling when you hand in this paragraph. The other thing I want to talk about, though, is that your paragraph needs to be more of a narrative. Most of you guys wrote actually from a narrative standpoint in your last paragraph as well. Narrative is telling a story. All right. So most of you guys actually already did that. Okay. Yeah. Devin, if you can pull it off, do it. All right. So I want to kind of keep the criteria around this very, very similar to your descriptive paragraph. So what I did, I went back to the assignment and pulled up the descriptive criteria that we came up together, right? Absolutely, Abby. If you want to write from a third person point of view, for sure. Yep. And this is what we came up with as a class, right? Now, is there anything else we'd like to add for this particular paragraph? Remember that you're writing not only a narrative, but you're also doing a different point of view. So do we want to add those two aspects into the criteria? Because that's really what I want to make sure you guys understand, right? So we could still use the details, the figurative language, the grammar, all those things can still be put into those criteria. But I personally was thinking maybe we need to add something around point of view and maybe telling a story, right? Instead of it just being a descriptive paragraph. What do you guys think? What could be the wording around that? Because I want to make the wording student friendly. Okay, so Abby's suggestion, you guys, is that it should tie into the last story. Or your last paragraph, right? You should see those differences. What else? Yeah, Taylor, I think Taylor just suggested you guys to show feeling. I think we've got that in the details aspect of our descriptive paragraph criteria, right? That evoke emotion. Oh, Ava, that's a good suggestion. Demonstrate improvements from your previous paragraph. That's great. I'm hoping that, yes, we all demonstrate improvements from our previous paragraph, right? I think that's very, very important because that's going to show your growth in your learning, right? The growth in your writing. That's really important. I'm just taking notes here, you guys, on what you guys are putting out there. So that's awesome. All right, so I will go back into the assignment, you guys, and play around with that criteria. Taylor, great question. Does it have to be as long? It doesn't. Again, there's going to be no specific length or that sort of criteria. You guys know my feeling around that. As long as you are putting forth the criteria that we've come up as a group, then that's it. I'm not a big thing about length. Okay, did you get your point across? That's really, whether you do that in more than a paragraph or in a paragraph, that's up to you guys. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the assignment, you guys, develop a little bit more of the criteria, and it'll be up by the end of the day in the narrative rough draft assignment. Okay, so once that's done, once it's in there and I've put it up, then you guys will touch on what I want you to do with that criteria. It's going to be very, very similar to what we've already done with our descriptive paragraphs. We're just redoing that same sort of process. So just like you did with your descriptive paragraph, you can use the exact same template as your last paragraph, the hamburger one, right? Just remember there's a twist and you've got to do it from a different point of view. All right. Now, before submitting your rough draft to the assignment, so whether you use the template, whether you use a Word doc, totally up to you guys, go through your writing again, use a highlighter and highlight the aspects from the criteria that we have developed. Okay, so this is kind of like that self-assessment. Have I gone back? Do I have some figurative language in my writing? Did I use a different point of view? Did I so on and so forth? Okay, so really make sure that you really highlight and really break down your writing. Okay? So here's your steps. Complete your rough draft, highlight the examples from the criteria, submit to the rough draft assignment, and give yourself a quick mark out of 5. What do you think you deserve out of 5? Okay? I think that's it. Yeah, that is the end of what I need to do. Yes, Taylor, that totally makes sense. So Taylor's saying, if it's the same story as the descriptive paragraph, is it okay if it starts at a different point in time of the story? Absolutely. That would be fine. As long as I can still connect those two events, which I'm sure you'll do, Taylor, that'll be totally fine. All right? So Devin, great question. When is this due? Next week. Okay, so this is the last time I see you guys this week. So you have all weekend to work on your rough drafts. So next time I see you guys, probably on, I don't have my calendar in front of me. I'm assuming probably Monday is the next time I'll see you guys. And we will go over, that was so stealth. So I'm just checking. Yeah, so Monday I see you guys and we will go over, hopefully your rough draft will be done. And then we'll be doing our peer review and our good copies. Yeah, so Devin, you just get it done when you can, all right? Okay, absolutely, that's fine, okay? So that's it, you guys, for the day. I am going to log off the live classroom now. I'm gonna go back to my office. I'll be in there for any questions, but I think you guys should be good to go on your own. If you have questions about converting your files for your EKG project, please let me know, all right? And I can walk you through the steps on Blackboard if need be. Otherwise, have a great day, you guys. Hopefully, we'll see most of you guys tomorrow at the field trip. But otherwise, have a great weekend. Bye, guys.